This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.
Rob, what's good, homie?
Mike, I feel like I haven't left the office yet. Today I work from home, which I don't really do a lot. I can a couple days a week. So I've been sitting in the same seat staring at 3 monitors for the past literally 10 hours. Took an hour break, and now I'm with the people here talking bowling on the computer again. So,
well, we appreciate you.
Yo, the good thing about working from home, sweats, man, no commute. Man, as a teacher, it's hard to work from home, I'd imagine, when you guys were doing it during COVID. But for me,
it was fraudulent. I don't know if it was hard.
It's completely fraudulent.
I mean, it was like, oh, you people don't even understand. I mean, it was like, it was a weird experience because it was like you're broadcasting, but you're not even sure anybody's watching. Like, it's just a bunch of icons.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of icons that are making no noise, not responding to you.
Oh, they're not. They're listening. They're on your phone.
It's
a disaster.
It was. But I got to say, like, the dress code was definitely comfy. I would just throw on the polo shirt with some Jordan shorts on, and you're only seeing me from here. Oh. So, yeah, that was definitely a bonus. I did feel like, this was pandemic related too, but like I feel like I didn't really leave the house either when I was going through that. But that was more pandemic related than anything. But
but that's the good thing about having a dog. Like, I'm forced to take him out and take a walk and go outside, and like forces me to get out of because knowing me, if I didn't have the dog, I wouldn't leave. I would take a shower or whatever, and then I would just be back here like broadcasting. But anyway, all right. Well, let's get into some bowling. I know you didn't bowl Tuesday night, right?
I didn't bowl Tuesday night. So a few weeks back, when I originally started this thing, my plan was to do a 9-week session and then take a month off and not come back until the second week of January, right? But then as we got started and it started to grow, a lot of guys, I had announced that was my plan. And then a lot of guys came to me and were like, listen, like, we should keep it going because we're building it up. We're getting good numbers. We want to keep bowling. So I said, all right, well, we'll run another 9-week session starting right away. And yeah, I'm just too busy right now. Honestly, I have to, my kids have too much going on Tuesdays where it just requires my attention to kind of get involved and transport and monitor for certain things. So, I'm probably not going to bowl next Tuesday either, but I'll be back after that week. And then, my schedule gets a little bit easier. Obviously I'll be on a winter break. So I'll bowl that week. I'll bowl the week before just because it's an easy week. And, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off, but honestly, like that, I think that's one of the things I enjoy the most about what I've set up because, you don't have to go. If you have something going on or you're busy or you're tired or something comes up and like, I know in league you don't have to go either, but it does require you to kind of get a sub. Okay. And like, look at you, where in the position you're at or in the position, I've lived in Jersey for a really long time actually. So I wouldn't say we're in the same position. However, like you, I don't know a ton of people around here that even I can call to sub. Right. So like that gets tough sometimes. Then if the sub shows up and doesn't bowl well, then you feel like, oh, geez, like I'm hampering the team because I'm not showing up and the sub's not bowling well.
Dude, I'm not saying we're winning. My team is winning because of me. I'm not saying that my statement I'm about to make isn't saying that.
But
we were in first place But it was only after like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I had a miss last week because of work, and then we ended up losing. And I feel bad that we lost, not because of the fact where if I was there we would have won. I just
Right.
feel bad because
Right.
we were in first place, and here I am having to miss.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this takes that away.
Right.
Like, you don't
Oh, it's
show up, you don't
I
show
love
up.
it.
It's fine. It's like, yeah, whatever. I mean,
Dude, it's
am I
great.
hurting myself in the overall standings? Yeah, I am. But honestly, like, the way it worked out at the end is the overall standings, money wise, they weren't worth that much at all. So yeah, it's really not that big of a deal.
No, it's
You just
great.
take a
Dude,
week or two off. I'm busy. Yeah, so everybody who shows up regularly knows that I was going to take a couple weeks off.
yo, do you
I
remember a few weeks ago when I bowled when I was sick?
Yeah,
Yo, there was
yeah.
if that was not man, if I didn't feel like I needed to go, there was no chance that I was gonna go. I was sick, legitimately sick, and I still went and I bowled. So I love your like format for the league. I mean,
Oh,
dude,
listen, there's a lot of times where I didn't feel like going to bowl. Either I had a long day at work or I came home and had stuff to deal with or whatever. And I just don't feel like going, or I'm just tired or whatever it may be. But yeah, you got to suck it up and go because you have other people that you've committed to show up. I like not having that commitment.
oh, it's
I
great.
like team bowling. I like being part of a team and bowling a league as a team. But at the same time, like, I love bowling without the commitment. Just to be able to take a couple weeks off, like I said, not have to sweat it is just amazing. So we still got 18 guys. There were still 18 guys there, so still a good number. And I know there were a few people that reached out to me and let me know they also weren't making it, but they wanted to let me know, like, I'm not making it this week, but I'm definitely planning on coming back. It's not like I'm dropping out or, there's not a problem or anything like that. The biggest issue right now, and I feel like, oh man, we're gonna get into some Bolero stuff tonight, so perhaps this is gonna be like a theme of the episode. But the biggest problem right now is that we have a lot of problems with the machines at the place we're bowling at. Things keep breaking down. Pairs keep breaking down. We keep having to use the breakdown pair. Then another pair breaks down. Then we got to wait for a pair to finish so another pair can come on that pair and finish. And yeah, it's kind of been a disaster. I hear through the grapevine that that Bolero doesn't really have a lead or head mechanic or like very experienced mechanic in every center regularly. So I don't know, but yeah, it's becoming a bit of a distraction. I'll say that. So I'd like to get that resolved, but
It's kind of funny though how certain bowling alleys the lanes always break, and then other bowling alleys you never really have a breakdown if you think about it. And I feel like some bowling alleys just do such a better job than other centers on maintaining their machines, right? Like having mechanics that essentially know how to fix. I mean, that's super important. Like having people that know what they're doing. And I'm not saying Bolero mechanics don't, because these are probably mechanics that were like grandfathered in when Bolero took over the center or whatnot. But it's more to me probably on how to maintenance of the machines and just being able to know how to fix them and keep them working.
yeah, well, I mean, I would ask other people in the chat, like, what's their experience? Do you bowl at Bolero centers? I mean, there's a lot of Bolero centers now. What are the machines like? Do they work well? Are they well taken care of? Maybe my experience is not a common one, but I'm just saying it's becoming a little bit of a distraction. Nico in the chat is asking me if I've been to the training center in a while. I have, Nico. I went 2 weeks ago, I think, on a Saturday morning. Went with one of my buddies who I used to bowl on a team with in the sport league. Now we're both bowling this sport bowling group thing that we've been doing. So went with him. The place is a gem. I mean, what do you want me to say about it? Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. I can't say enough about it. Like, to go in and be able to get that kind of practice in is just invaluable.
Dude, we got to read some of these comments.
Oh my goodness.
What's up, peeps? Oh, Robert Hamilton, man, always good to see you, bro. I'll have to still check out that video. Apologize, but
Ian Lang missing honor scores to watch us. Is it? I mean, is it fair to say patch pirate? That's a patch pirate.
Oh, Ian Lang is the epitome of a patch pirate.
That's a patch pirate.
He's the captain. Yo, he wears his hat, man. He goes into the bowling centers. I threw my 600th 800 series by my ball.
So
but I think I lost your mic. All right. Oh, there you are.
Am I back? Am I good?
You're back. You're back.
All right. How was your league experience this week?
I had an interesting week. We bowled Jacob Buttriff's team this week. And what up, Dougie Vision? I saw a funny video, a guy running out of strike on Dougie Vision. I think it was a Dougie Vision video. Guy was like high stepping. I don't even know what kind of debauchery he was doing, but that was a great video.
Dougie running a big event, a 5K dual pattern event, right around the time that the PBA Players is coming to Carolier. I think he's running it the weekend before it starts. So if you're a high level bowler and you're listening to this show and you want to bowl for $5,000 against a bunch of people who are not professional bowlers, hit up Dougie. He could probably get you a spot. I know he's opening up more spots. So,
Dougie, I forgot even how to do his laugh.
It's not TV. It's Dougie Vision. You gotta look away. You gotta look away. I've learned that. He told me that. You gotta look away. So you bowled Buttriff. What was that like?
Interesting though. Buttriff wasn't anchoring his team.
Okay.
So I didn't bowl head up against him. He did bowl 300 against us. It was the second game, but he tripped 2 6 pins in the 10th frame for his 300. Oh, the shit I was giving. We were giving him shit. My whole team was giving him shit because it was one of them was like a 6-10 he tripped, and then the other one was just a pure 6 pin. And then me and him started going back and forth, like laughing. I told him like he needs to ride the 6 pin tripping momentum into the 2023 PBA season. And I told him if he trips a 6 pin to win like the US Open, he'd better throw me a shout when he's thanking all of his people at the end when he's talking. He's like, yeah, I'll be thanking my sponsors and my family, and then I'll be thanking you for letting the 6 pin. So as for the bowling, me personally, 215, 215, 249, 2 pocket 710s, and 1 in the first game and 1 on the second game. The ball just seems to do what it wants to do in the back of the lane. Some shots, other shots, it looks good. I did use a different ball. I pulled some ball that doesn't work anywhere in any other center for me out of the woodwork. Tim shot his first 320 in 28 years a couple weeks ago. Wow.
Robert Hamilton in the chat asking when he tripped that 6 pin, did he give you the flex like he did in the TV?
No,
that's what you should have done, son.
I know.
You should have shown up. You should have shown up with that John on a poster, okay, or on a stick. I mean, amazing.
I didn't know I didn't know we were bowling him.
Okay,
but he's got a really good team, and we ended up taking 2 games in totals against him. And the second game they bowled against us. He bowled 300. And his third bowler bowled 298, and they only beat us by like 35 pins.
Okay. Using urethane or resin?
He hasn't. I've been living in Arizona for 16 to 18 months. I have not seen the kid pick up a urethane ball since I moved here. But here's a funny story about that: is the second game he switched balls and he brought out a purple ball because he bowled 190 the first game. Buttriff. And I saw the purple ball come out, and I started yelling, "Oh, he's pissed. He's bringing out the urethane." And then he looked and he showed me it was like a DV8, like a damn good
Rattler
or something. Yeah, Rattler or a Verge or something.
Okay.
And I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, he's not that pissed off." I was like, "Well, so he's specific resin. The regional, any tournament he's bowled here or any league, he's never thrown a purple urethane. So kind of interesting. He really practices with using the high performance stuff. So anyway, we had a good time, especially since we beat him. And yeah, I mean, I took all my points. I think I'm averaging right now about 214. I think I'm booked, or 215. I'm right around probably where I'm going to be the rest of the year. I'll finish around 215 to 220. So
okay. It's respectable, I guess.
220,
215, and not so much.
I want to be 215, I'll be honest with you, but I want to be able to bowl the PBA.
Bolero League Bowler Championship we're going to talk about in a minute.
I want to bowl the League Bowl championship. Because
Well, if you wanted to bowl the League Bowl or championship, you should have just bowled 12 games and stopped and established an average, because that's all you need. That's all you need to do to establish an average to bowl that tournament. But we'll get there in a minute. We'll get there in a minute. Quickly, Bowl TV released their cost this week. You know, and your brother, where's Jeff at? Where's the counselor at? Counselor, where is he? He's on social media. You know, rightfully calling them out for some quote unquote hidden fees,
resort fee.
yeah. So I appreciated him highlighting that, and USBC, to their credit, did come on and respond and give a valid response. They did, yeah, they did, and they said that it had to do with a third party
streaming and app
that they use or they license or something. So that third party requires that they charge this service fee, and that's where it comes from, right? So I don't know. I mean, I still don't understand why they just wouldn't include that in the price instead of saying here's the price and here's the service fee.
Maybe there's got to be something like business wise why they
and it definitely seems like it's contractual. There's no doubt about that.
It's like a resort fee, right? For the casinos, why do they put a resort fee in when they could just add it to the rate of the room? There has to be some kind of tax benefit or something that benefits them for doing that, because I guarantee you the last thing businesses like casinos and Bowl TV want to do is piss the people off with essentially quote unquote hidden charges.
Right. So my first thing is, what do you think of the cost? And my second thing is, one of the things that people were kind of critical about last week when they announced this was that I never watch bowling on the internet on my TV. I'll just be clear about that. I always watch it on a laptop. I'm usually doing something else on the laptop while I'm watching. I have multiple splits going on the screen. But I know people were complaining about that, and they also announced that they're putting out an app. So you're supposedly going to be able to more easily stream directly to your TV, which I may actually try and check out if it is an easy thing. But what are your thoughts on those two things, Rob? What are your thoughts on the cost, and what are your thoughts on them releasing this app and making it easier for people to stream to their TV?
Dude, this thing just keeps getting better and better, honestly. Honestly, we have to see with the app how it works. We have to see what kind of navigation looks like, how many pairs are going to get covered. From what Flanagan has been saying, it's going to be a premium, like quality A+ service. Obviously, we have to wait and see. Price $99 if you register before the new year. I think it goes up to $119 if you do it after. There's obviously a hidden or whatever you want to call it service fee for another $15 or $20. So essentially, it's probably $120 if you sign up, which I plan on doing. Dude, that's what, $12 a month?
Yeah.
For PBA, PWBA, college bowling, bowling junior. I mean, USBC tournament, I'd imagine some regionals. Dude, if you're a bowling fan and you watch bowling, this is a must-have subscription. Honestly, to me, it's a must-have. If you are a bowling fan and you love watching professional bowling at its highest level, now we have to wait and see what the service looks like, right? If they had as many service failures as Flow Bowling did, with the buffering and the pausing and all that stuff, I still think it's worth it if it's majority of it, if it's pretty good. If it's better than Flow, then it'll definitely be a must-have. So, no complaints, Mike. Nothing but glowing reviews on my end.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on board. I was already a subscriber, so I'm definitely on board. My only issue is that if Flow Bowling kind of showed us anything, and I got to be honest, I'm very surprised by this, even though I probably shouldn't be. But to me, if Flow Bowling showed us anything, it showed us that there's not as much support for a bowling streaming. So there's not as much demand for a bowling streaming service as I think there might be, or perhaps you might think there might be. I don't think Flow ever got the subscribers to really make it worth what they were doing, right? So long term, I guess my concern is, can Bowl TV either find a way to do it better for cheaper, okay, where they don't need as many subscribers to keep it afloat, or are they going to get more subscribers? Are they going to be able to pull enough subscribers to keep it afloat, keep improving it, keep adding to it or making it better as time goes on?
Mike.
I hope they do. I hope that bowlers in general support it, and I hope that they do a good job of marketing it and getting it out there and getting word out about it out there. But yeah, that's really my only concern here is like, I hope it goes well, and I hope it's a sustainable piece that they can really keep going.
So I think the difference between this time around and let's just compare the Flow Bowling years, there's a few differences. One, if you signed up for Flow Bowling, you were only getting the PBA and a lot of the other side stuff that they were doing, right? At least this time around, you're going to be getting a lot of bowling throughout the year. Okay. So you're going to be getting more shows. I mean, think about Flow Bowling. How many months did you pay Flow Bowling where you didn't have anything on?
Right.
This time, I think you're not going to have as much downtime. I mean, the
PBA but again, I don't
until May.
Yeah, I don't know if that is such a large determining factor to the people that are subscribing, though.
So what they need to do, and please, Mike Flanagan, if you're watching, get into the
Chad.
ear.
What's good, Chad?
Yo, get into the ear. Chad Murphy, if you're listening, I know you pop in every once in a while. You guys need to give a free month. Okay, you need to give a free month, and then
right when the PBA season kicks off.
100%. The first month, you need to give it free to the people. What you also need to do is
promote it. Promote it.
Exactly. Well, that's
get Bolero behind it. Promote it.
Promote in the leagues. Yeah. Announce it. Hey, we're giving a free month of Bowl TV. Like, make it a must announcement. How hard is it to communicate to your Bolero centers in an email, right, to your managers of your Bolero centers and say, here is the promotion. You guys need to make at least 5 to 10 announcements per night throughout the day. Open bowling. And then
once people log on to watch, let Mike Flanagan do his thing and let him sort of use it as an infomercial for why people should subscribe, what they're missing out on. If you give people a free month, they're good. Some amazing content is going to come out of that at some point, right? So yeah, keep promoting the schedule and hey, we're here all the time and this is a regular thing. So yeah, listen, I'm behind it like you are 100%. I already subscribe.
Tim, I want to put Tim's comment up here.
No, hold on. I want John's comment. Bowlers will spend thousands on new equipment, but not a few hundred to watch the sport. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the problem, isn't it?
Dude, bowlers get crazy when they raise their dues $1 or $2 for the USBC membership.
Yeah, how many people do you know that will bowl 2-3 nights a week, and then when you say, do you subscribe to Bowl TV? They'll say, I don't want to watch that shit. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand that attitude. I really don't.
They don't respect the professional bowlers. They think it's easy.
I don't know.
I want to pull up Tim. That's got to be a given. Like
Tim Sorrell saying, free to the centers. Like you guys said, stream it nonstop at the centers. Yeah, I agree.
Unless there's a big sporting event on where people want to watch like Monday Night Football or whatever, like World Cup, right? I know people are really into that. Baseball, whatever it is, like bowling should be on at least 1 or 2 TVs and throughout the center. That should never be changed, really.
This is a good idea too from Bill Morrison here. Optional subscription discount during your sanctioning fees.
I mean, there's a lot of promotions they can do.
It's easy.
So yeah, we talked a lot about last week. So if you want to check out what our thoughts are on the original subscription, I think the price point is on. I think it's on point.
Yeah. I didn't mean for that to turn into such a deep conversation.
No, but this is something that is important.
It's big news. It's big news. It is.
Well, here's the thing, Mike, is you want a lot of subscribers because what in that entails is a lot of views. And then what Bull TV can then do is then they could sell to advertisers, right? And say, hey, advertisers, we're getting, 100,000 views on every show we do or every live stream we do. Advertisers will want to pay for advertising, and then that will snowball into giving money back to the bowlers. Maybe make the membership fees lower using the advertising, so more people want to subscribe. But more people need to subscribe up front for them to be able to go back and probably sell back to advertisers, right? And that's where a lot of the places can keep subscription fees down because of the advertisers. But look, I'm not a expert in this field. Now, this is just common sense to me as people that grown adults like you and I who make money and who do real life jobs for a living. You know what I mean? Anyway.
All right, we're going to move forward. Rob, we wanted to talk about this Bolero League Bowler Championship.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay. I texted you earlier this week, right? Because we talk behind the scenes about what we're going to talk about on the show. And, we have conversations outside of the podcast, obviously. And I texted you last week and I said, Hoss, what's the over-under on the entries for this event? Okay. And that text kind of got me thinking about a whole slew of other things related to this. So I guess we'll start this conversation by giving a rundown of the event, right? You have it pulled up. You want to give the people a rundown here of what we're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Surprise, surprise. The PBA website is kind of all over the place a little bit and trying to, one of the first frequently asked questions is, what is the 2023 PBA LBC Championship? And the literal answer on the website is a new national tournament for bowlers of all skill levels. That doesn't really tell me shit about anything. Okay, let's try to make this easy for the people because the website doesn't.
It's June 3rd to July 16th.
It is. Right. Squad times each day are 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m.
Okay.
It's mainly a singles event, right?
You can only bowl the singles portion once.
6 games across 12 lanes. You can only bowl once. Okay. So essentially, it's a little bit of like the USBC National Tournament where you can only bowl one time. But it is different in the fact where it's 6 games of singles. And there is a lot of optional. There's an optional doubles and a 4-person team event. Now, here's the kicker of this tournament, okay?
Well, anyway.
I'm going to read it right from the website. There will be optional doubles and a 4-person team events that bowlers can opt into with multiple partners. Bowlers can cash unlimited times in each event. There is an entry fee of $50 per bowler/event. There is also 6 different divisions: a men and women's handicap division, Open Classic, Women's Classic, Senior Classic, and PBA exempt. First player in Open Classic will pay $25,000 with other divisions awarding $5,000 first place prizes.
Okay.
So that's the rundown of this tournament.
Now, in terms of the doubles and the 4-person team, if I understand correctly, you can basically pick to bowl with anybody. So regular people in the handicap division are going to be able to say, well, okay, these pro bowlers are bowling in the event. I'm going to put a team of 4 together with me and these 3 pro bowlers. Okay. So, and what you're pointing out, Rob, is that theoretically somebody could go in and say, well, I'm going to put myself on 50 teams with these 3, with this pro bowler and these 2 and this pro bowler and these, just switch the combinations up. Right. And if they shoot a big series in that particular piece, then yeah, they're probably going to take up a lot of those cashing spots. Right. There's different divisions in this tournament. Yes. Do we have a breakdown of those divisions?
Yeah, I gave them to you already. Men and women's handicap, Open Classic, Women's Classic. I already said them.
Okay. So the handicap, from what we read, is based off of your current year average, right?
No, last
year's average.
12 games.
Well, it'll be this current year.
No.
Yes. Well,
Hey, listen, it says you will. Oh, wait. Okay, maybe. But it says you will use your highest average from the past calendar year with a minimum of 12 games bowled in any league in any center.
okay.
That's the only line about when
That
it says
seems a little loose. That seems a little loose to me.
okay,
What do you think?
12 games. Look,
In
okay,
any league, in any center?
let's be real here, people. Let's be real because that's all we know how to be at Sweep the Rack is real here. This is a sandbagger dream right here. Okay,
This is a sandbagging disaster waiting to happen.
because there are tournaments out there,
Like,
you know,
are
and I
we
hate
are we going to be watching the finals of this at Bayside on TV, and it's going to be like two guys who we know in the bowling community, and it's like so and so who's a 203 average, and so who's a 198 average, and we know they're really 235. I mean,
maybe.
to me, this has the possibility of turning into that.
No, because I'll be honest with you, a lot of the people we know aren't sandbaggers. I mean, only in your
Well,
local
you know
area.
what I'm saying. Not that we know, but like,
Local area.
like somebody that you would know. Oh, 225 guy from my local area.
Yes, because the sandbaggers usually only stay in their local areas and will only go to bowl tournaments like the ABT on a national event, and maybe like the TAT, because they have a handicap division. Look, 12 games is
Imagine if we get a Tim Sorrell saying Mamma Mia wins it all. Imagine if we get Mamma Mia versus like a house bowler Rudy Revs in the final, and Mamma Mia's getting 106 pins. Oh my God, Tim, it's too good.
You're not getting a Mamma Mia who's going to be averaging 120 who's going to make the show or make
Who
the final.
knows?
This is going to be someone who's a pretty good bowler, like you said, who is about probably in the 190 average area. Okay. Look, here's the thing is we spoke about this off the air. If you're a good bowler, you could be a very good sandbagger. Okay. Because if you bowl somewhere, or especially sub in a league, essentially, and you can get 12 games as a sub, 12 games is an easy, like 12 games you could sandbag and you could do a really like good job of it, right? Like you move a few right here, you go through the nose, you miss a spare here, you miss a spare there, and you bowl 160. Okay.
But that would have to also be the only league that they've bowled. Right. And it would also have to probably be the only league they've bowled in several years, I would imagine, because if they actually verify it, and I understand, like, who knows whether Bolero actually knows what they're doing here, what the pitfalls are to look out for. But if they are verifying things and somebody has, 220 2 years ago and now they're 190 with 12 games and they're trying to enter on that, I would imagine that they're gonna do something about that.
Do you have the confidence in them to do that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would think they have to. If you're gonna run an event like this, you have so many bowlers around you that I would think somebody would have to speak up and say, hey, make sure you're doing X, Y, or Z.
But why 12 games, Mike? I kind of feel like that's just not a lot of games to establish an average.
No, not at
to
all.
Me, 21 is even.
You know why? Probably because they're trying to attract as many league bowlers as they can. Right. So they're even trying to attract like the people who bowl like a short session league, just to have some beers with their friends and try and get them out there to bowl a competition and take a trip to Milwaukee in the beginning of the summer.
So here's the thing, right? I think in a tournament like this that we're trying to establish an average or use an average, they need to up the games from like 12 to probably even maybe like 40, honestly, like 40. Like it needs to be a higher amount of games, right? I just the handicap system is definitely flawed here. Like
we've gone down that road. We've talked about that a lot. So yeah, I agree that this has the potential to turn into a sandbagging disaster of some kind. I hope it doesn't. But I think people, if you are aware of how things sometimes go with these handicap events, I don't think people would be surprised if something of that nature happens. I have a couple questions here to follow up on. Do you think? The reason that I text you about this is because there seemed to be, and I don't know if people in the chat notice this as well, but over the last week or so, there seemed to be a huge increase in the marketing of this event. Like I saw numerous people posting about this event saying, "Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm bowling. Make sure you sign up and this and that." And I thought, man, like what, all of a sudden randomly they're having people, tweet out and put this up on social media and really get behind this event. So one question I want to ask, and we can find out the answer to this if we want with a simple text, but we love speculation here. So let's speculate a bit. Do you think there's any chance that the PBA guys are being forced to bowl this, or being strongly encouraged behind the scenes to bowl this, even if it's something they don't really want to do?
Yeah, of course. I mean, why wouldn't you? Maybe not. Maybe they're not forcing them to bowl it, but maybe they're forcing. I wouldn't say forcing them, but I'd say more encouraging them to use their like social media platforms to promote this event. You'd be stupid if you were the PBA marketing team and you weren't using your most free outlet to get to hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, literally, all you need to do as a PBA and PWBA for the USBC to do in Bolero, whoever, is to reach out to like Daria, Belmo, the Tangs, and just be like, Kyle Sherman, Kyle and Brad, like, hey, like, can you do us a favor and can you promote this event using your social media platforms? And I'm sure that they would accommodate them, right? And why wouldn't they do it? That'd be the smart way to like promote and advertise the event. The other thing that I don't understand, and not to go off on a tangent here a little bit, but why wouldn't, like we talked about, Bowl TV being promoted to league bowlers? Why wouldn't you? I've been bowling in a Bolero center for the last like 15 weeks or 14 weeks. I haven't heard a thing about this in my league night. I haven't heard a peep. There hasn't been a flyer handed out. There hasn't been any announcement. Like, I don't understand why Bolero wouldn't reach out to their bowling managers and be like, hey, we have this event coming up. We want to make it big. We want to get entries. Mike, you want to a great skit? Me going out to my league next week with a microphone and asking every league bowler that I could interview if they've even heard of this event and see what they say. How many people actually even know about this event that bowl in your league, Mike? Mike, I have a league of 30 lanes, essentially, of 5 people on a lane. There's 150 people there. How many people, if I asked if this tournament they knew about it, that entries are going to be starting up in the next month or so, how many people would actually be like, yeah, I know what this event is?
Okay. So that brings me to my next question. What are the entries going to look like for this?
I think it'll be okay. I think it's going to get a lot of local. And I mean by local, probably anybody within under, maybe an 8 to 10 hour drive in that area, I think would probably go and maybe bowl. You never know with a first annual event, what it brings. The money doesn't really bring people.
It's only $5,000.
Well, I learned that the hard way when a long time ago.
It ain't $250,000 like they were giving away to the first League Bowler Series thing. It ain't $100,000 like they gave away to the other League Bowler Series things.
The reason why I don't think money brings people, money does bring people, and I'm gonna rephrase my statement here.
I'm glad you say you're walking that back, son.
I am walking back, but money brings in people. But I think what I would have changed in this event would have brought in more people is you make the team aspect of it the main focus of the tournament. People love going and bowling teams. They love going and bowling with their friends. It's just the reason why the USBC National Tournament has always been a pretty decent sized tournament with their entries, even though it's been going down for a while. But people like to go and travel. They go with their friends, their buddies, their wives. They have partner teams. They do all that. When you go at a singles event, it's, to me, people rather go and bowl team. Just in the
Well, I mean, I guess
my history of bowling.
with the the way the tournament is, you could bowl a team. You could bowl a team with 4 people on it.
And
I know, and then you're
nothing
gonna be
focused.
bowling against this guy over here who's paired with 3 PBA guys. So yeah, I don't know. I mean,
This is a tough one. I don't know. Did they mention what shot they're going to be putting out? I know that will discourage
I didn't see
people.
anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know. They'd be smart not to say anything.
Well, you'd imagine in the lower divisions it's going to be some sort of house shot, modified house.
It's a good question. I don't know what they're going to do with the shot. They're definitely not going to use a house shot. There's no chance of that happening. 0 chance.
Not even for the lower divisions?
No.
I don't know about that, son.
No, the ABT, they're the biggest handicap tournament probably in the country other than the TAT right now. And they use some brutal shots out there, and they get a bunch of people because people love handicap tournaments. They love sandbagging. That's why the handicap tournaments are so popular.
Bolero's about to find out. You know that meme on the internet? F around, find out. That's what I think of here. Oh my God, it's too good. Here's my last point on this. Okay. And honestly, I shouldn't even say this because this is such a piece of gold for Bolero that I swear, and I know I get out of pocket around here sometimes, but I swear, like what I'm about to say, like they should really have to pay me for an idea like this. Okay.
Sure. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, I haven't even shared this with you yet.
I don't know where this is going.
So, like, Bolero has spent a shitload of money over the last, let's say, 3 to 5 years to throw money at league bowlers. Yes? Okay. You had the League Bowl Elite Series. It was like, over $500,000 they gave away doing that with TV production. I mean, the whole 9, right? We did a whole episode of what that might have cost. Okay. Now they have this League Bowlers Championship thing. They're doing a terrible job of promoting it, like you said, and like others said in the chat. As Jimmy said, their dream team of a marketing team is busy putting out a list of how to make porn names with Penny. Only fan account names with Penny than they are actually promoting this event that they're supposed to be running, right?
There.
I think to myself, I've thought to myself, what are they trying to get out of this, right? What are they trying to get out of this? And here, I mean, genuinely, I think this is what they're trying to get out of it. They're trying to get league bowler loyalty out of it, right? They're trying to, number one, give people a reason to come over to their centers and bowl leagues. Okay, right. Take their league from this privately owned center to this Bolero center. Sure. And number two, to create that loyalty where they come back, right? Where they come back and they continue to bowl leagues. Well, damn, Bolero. I mean, if they just would have hired somebody who's like a good, smart person who also knows bowling, how about this? Bolero could basically take over the entire league base of any area they wanted to, just by going around and adding some real money to local leagues. I mean, it's like they do all this complicated stuff and these big schemes, and like to me, it's as simple as going to numerous local leagues and whatever. Like, all right, let's say you're in New Jersey, okay, where I'm at, and there's I'm not going to name a privately owned center because I don't want any of the center owners to feel like, or actually, you know what, I will, because this owner, he's not even a bowler. There's no way he would pay attention to this. Let's say people are bowling at a league at Nob Hill, privately owned center, okay, and let's say Bolero wants to recruit that league. There's a 32 team 4-man league or whatever that bowls at Nob Hill, and Bolero wants to take that league from Nob Hill, the privately owned place, and get it over to Bolero and create that loyalty. Guys, I mean, it's as simple as going to that league and saying, you know what? We'll give you $2,500 a year added to your prize fund for a guaranteed 5 years for you to sign a contract right now that you'll bowl this league in our house for 5 years.
I got one.
Done deal. Am I right or am I wrong?
They don't have to add money. All they have to do is cut the lineage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That it doesn't even really cost them to do that. That's it's the genius behind it.
Could you imagine if they gave?
Is that there's no cost.
Could you imagine if they said to the league, if you're a league right now and you're a league secretary and they promoted this and said, if you come and take your league and bring it to a Bolero center, we will give you $2 or $1.50 a game lineage for the next 5 years.
And you can take all that extra money, put it back in your prize fund.
Could you imagine how many leagues would be like, yo, like, you know, if we go over to Bolero, or if they just did it for all leagues that are currently existing, right?
Rob, do you understand what I
know.
They should honestly, they should pay me for this.
Mike, they make so much money in food and drink sales. When I'm there and I'm bowling league, everybody on my team buys food and drinks when they're there. I go around looking at all the tables. They're all eating because, Mike, 6:30 p.m. start time, 6:15, it's right during dinner time.
Plus
There's
5-man league. 5-man league, you're there for 3 hours.
You're there till I walk out of there starving every day, okay?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how you getting out of there without at least having a little something?
Right. If I'm a bowling center proprietor and I'm a Bolero, I want leagues in my center every night from Monday night to Thursday night. And then I want my morning leagues. I want my Saturday morning, my Sunday morning. I want to keep my Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night open for open play. I also want to keep my open play for after leagues, right? Monday nights, whatever. That's when you give discount on lineage on open bowling, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. after till midnight, right? The thing is, what we're talking about, you want to fill your centers. Now, if you're a bowling center that already has your league centers and league nights filled up Monday through Thursday, then you don't really need to give lineage discounts because they're already there bowling. The problem is they might leave, right?
No, but see, part of another great aspect of this idea that I've thought about for a bit is that if Bolero could actually pick and choose what leagues they want to go after, like if they had an educated bowler, as a general manager who knew, okay, well, here's the biggest leagues in this area. These are the leagues we really want. We want to make sure we got these 2 leagues on Monday, this league on Tuesday. These are the leagues I'm going after. So every night of the week, we're filled up to the max with the most desirable market-wise the bowlers that we could possibly want.
I got to bring this up because Robert Hamilton is a good point. Robert says, but a lot of Bolero centers don't open until noon. Some don't open up until about 2 hours prior to 6:30 p.m. league start time. I mean, it's a valid point, but there's probably a reason why. I mean,
because they're not making money the other time.
Right. How many times in your bowling life have you went to a bowling center at 9 a.m. on a Sunday or a Saturday, and you've been the only person in the bowling center bowling?
Mm-hmm.
It happens all the time. Now, do I agree with the 11 a.m. or noon open time? Shit, they don't even open by me until 3 p.m. during the weeks. The centers don't open until, especially during the summer. Shit, they don't even be close. They're not even close to opening till. I remember I got out of work one time at 3 o'clock. I went to the bowling center and they were closed. I'm like, this shit, they're not open till 4. There's a reason. But if you're a bowling center owner, you would try to at least, if you have the property and you have like the business, you would try to get people in there before that. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So maybe what we're talking about, like, with lowering lineage, you're going to make your money on your food and your drink sales. I mean, it's a no-brainer, but yeah, Mike, that's the reason. I guess maybe that's the reason why we're not proprietors and we don't own bowling centers. Next time we're on we have a guest on who's a proprietor, we could ask them about lineage. Because
fair point.
Yeah. All right, Mike, you ready to give the people what they want?
Yes, sir. want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
I'm gonna go first because this is gonna start up a conversation, which I know you're gonna have a funny probably story or two. And I you don't know
Oh, I
you
hate it
don't
when
know what I'm
you
bringing
put
up.
me on the spot to tell stories I'm involved in.
So this worst of the week doesn't go to the guy who posted it, but it's really funny. It's a really funny story, and it's gonna stir up a funny like 5-minute conversation. Austin Monroe on Storm Bowling Fans wrote, bowling against the guy last night who had a rough third game and decided to retire. Handed me his ball. Anyone ever thrown a rotogrip wreck him? So my question to you is, Mike, is
What? So wait a second. I got to understand this correctly. So the guy who posted bowled against someone who bowled so bad that they retired after they were done.
and they gave him the ball
Holy Jesus.
he handed him the ball when he left. A
Oh my
rotogrip wreck
goodness.
him. My question to you is, in your history, what is your funniest like somebody walking off the lanes moment? Have you had someone who's been bowling so bad that they just decided, fuck it, I'm done? Like this sucks. I'm done bowling, and just kind of left, like in the middle of a tournament or middle of a league.
I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever had somebody, like be that frustrated that they quit in the middle of or at the conclusion of a league session. Most of the people that I knew that quit, like just quit quietly, like just 1 week stopped showing up and then just never showed up again.
Never showed up again.
Now, I mean, I have thrown balls off of a bridge. This is true. I've told this story before. The Omega Lion right here beside me, it's not that actual ball. It's at the bottom of the Delaware River.
So here's a good story. There's a very famous, legendary action bowling story out there that happened in Brooklyn back in the 60s, where there was two guys bowling against each other, and they were sponsored by two different sponsors, and each sponsor told them to throw off because each sponsor bet on the other guy. Have you heard this story? And then the one guy faked a heart attack.
Yeah, I've heard this story in several different eras and ways. So sometimes I assign it to urban legend, but
it is. And to me, that story of this guy quitting and giving his ball and walking off the lanes.
You know what? I got one for you. I got one. You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one too. Now, the person didn't quit. They didn't quit. But John Schroeder.
Cherry vodka.
Cherry vodka. Okay. And I gave him that nickname. All right. I am the person that gave John Schroeder that nickname because my man used to get hammered off of the flavored vodka, bro. I mean, my man was a wreck. I don't know where he's at these days or what he does, but shout to my guy, John Schroeder. Now, Schroeder, he was a JBT bowler, good JBT bowler, not like one of the premier guys out there, but definitely a competitor, a threat to win. And I don't know, we were at a tournament, I think it was in Pennsylvania, and he bowled horrendously. I think it might have been like the JBT Challenge, as a matter of fact, like the last tournament of the year. And my man took his equipment outside and just went demon mode on his equipment. I mean, he was throwing it on the ground, throwing it against the walls, throwing it in the air and letting it fall, like all his stuff, okay? All his stuff. He destroyed his bowling equipment. I mean, one of the balls cracked fully open. He took it and like bashed it against this ledge of like a wall outside the bowling alley, and the ball just split in half. And I don't know. I mean, he was enraged. My man was enraged. His whole face. Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, it was La Martinique. It was La Martinique Lanes. Robert Hamilton. I think you're right. And my man was enraged. Like his face was just a shade of red I had really never seen before.
That's the same Schroeder who took his shoe off and threw it at the 10-pin, right? When he
I believe so. Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Okay. So like that.
He had some anger issues.
Yeah, that's definitely one for me, no question. Yeah. Other than that, I also know of a bowler. I want to say that it was. I don't want to say. I don't want to say the name, but I know of at least one bowler who, after a JBT, after a poor performance at a JBT, like decided to take a long drive, like, and by long drive I mean like over 1,000 miles, and just went for a drive and just, just a multi-day drive, and then came back after a little while. Not me. I never did that. But
Dude,
I do know. Then they didn't quit. They came back. They probably were at the JVT the next weekend. But yeah, they just they had to take a little drive and cool off.
You want to hear my biggest fry out story? I tell this story all the time. I bowled a tournament. It was at Monitor Match Games at Bay City during college, and I was in like the top 8, and I left a stone 8 to lose, and I was beside myself. I needed a strike to win, and I stoned 8. I was driving home. I was so furious. I was so fried. I was at a red light in one of the like side roads where there's a lot of cornfields. And I look over to my right and I saw Jesus Christ in the cornfield. Literally Jesus Christ with the headband, the gown, and he's just doing this. And he's looking at the sky. I said, I fucking lost my shit, Mike. I was like, I stoned 8. I thought I lost my shit. What the hell is this? So I walk into my house. All my friends are there. They're like, yo, what's the matter? I'm like, you'll never guess this, man. You guys would think I'm crazy. You could commit me. They were like, what? What's going on? I'm like, man, I saw Jesus Christ in the cornfield, like over on Center in Bay Road.
After a fry out.
After I stoned an 8 to lose my tournament, whatever, man. I'm like, dude, I'm going to like have to go lay down. And then all my friends, they started laughing. They're like, oh, that fool, man. He's giving out pamphlets over there by the 7-Eleven. I was like walking around, man, giving, spreading the word of Jesus. I was like, dude, I thought I lost my shit for a sec because I stoned that 8 and I was so beside myself.
Who quit? You know who quit? But I think they only quit bowling on action on sport is the dude that I bowled on Dougie Vision. He quit.
Oh yeah. What's his
quit.
face?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah. So I don't know, if that counts. Like if they quit bowling on sport because they had a bad experience in action, but.
That's funny.
Oh yeah. Well, yes. I mean that this is true. This is not urban legend. Mike Fagan actually did throw it. It bounced. It bounced once and hit the masking unit, and it hit the masking unit in a way that it shattered the light underneath the masking unit as well. That was at Boulevard Lanes over Christmas at the Christmas events. Boulevard Lanes, not a fun place. Overground ball returns with a college bowling tournament with 5 guys on a pair. So not very fun. It was not a very fun experience. That's one of the places that I grew up in bowling.
I've seen broken computers. I've seen broken monitors. I've seen a lot of. I always thought that the bowling centers, if I was on the bowling center, I would put like a punching speed bag like above the ball return. So if people like throw a bad shot, they could just like hit the like speed bag or something instead of hitting my ball return. All right, Mike, what do you got for us of the week?
All right. My worst of the week is general this week. I'm going general. I'm not because I don't want to target anybody. All right. I'm not here to be mean.
What is this? No.
Listen, I'm not here to be mean. I'm not here to be a bully. I'm not, that's not
Harbinger
me. That's
fun
not what
or whatever they called you.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Big Mike making Big Mike's everywhere look bad.
This is true. I'm trying to improve my rep for Big Mike's everywhere. My worst of the week this week is any bowler who has, quote, PBA bowler or professional bowler in their bio, in their social media bio, and they're not a professional bowler. Okay? You get worst of the week for me, bro.
I know a lot of
and I got to be honest, there's quite a few of them out there. Like, if you have professional bowler in your bio on social media, I better see your name on the roster of some professional bowling tournaments. Seriously. And I'm not talking about regionals either. Because let's be honest, if you're a regional player, you're not a professional bowler. Okay? No, you work a full-time job and bowl when you can. Okay?
Yeah, you're not making a living bowling off of regionals.
And it's such a bad look. It is, because can I tell you, some of these guys stink. Rob, I'm serious. When we're done, I'll send you screenshots if you want. You can check them out on your own. some of these guys are terrible. And, they I don't know if they title themselves professional bowlers or they just join the PBA and call themselves professional bowlers. But my goodness, bro. I mean, let's get real.
But isn't that the
Let's get
reason why
real
you
here.
pay your $25 or $35 a month membership to the Professional Bowlers Association is so you could put it on your social media bio?
No.
I mean, you got to give these guys. I mean, look, like they're pros. They have the card that has their name on it. You got to, you got to give them something. They got to get their money's worth.
But doesn't the fact that they look at it that way show how unaware they are of the reality of what a pro bowler is or is not?
Well, they want to tell all their like coworkers and their like family and friends that don't bowl that they're professionals. I mean, look, let's call a spade a spade. That's what it is. It's just more of a like, hey, like,
yeah. Well, that's why I'm giving it worst of the week. Stop being a fraud. Stop being a fraud. Stop faking the funk. All right. Take it out of your bio. You ain't making it.
I'm actually glad they cut you off for a sec.
Take it out of your bio. Okay.
All right, Mike. That's hilarious.
As a matter of fact, you don't take it out of your bio, I'm going to start naming names. All right.
All right.
I'm just saying. I'm giving you a couple weeks. You don't take it out, I'm going to start naming names.
No, it really doesn't, Jimmy. Jimmy writes, the PBA membership cards help you with the ladies. No, it really doesn't. They'd probably be more impressed with the Costco membership, I'll be honest with you. At least they can get food at a discount.
Final thoughts, Rob. Raffle.
We'll talk the raffle after my final thoughts. We'll talk raffle.
Support the raffle.
Yeah, we still selling tickets to the raffle. Belmo gear. It's on.
Well, we're not raffling off the gear until we sell enough tickets.
Yeah,
these prizes are this is high level bowling memorabilia we're talking about here. So yeah, we have to have a reserve on this.
Venmo. You could Venmo me, Rob Perushad, my last name. You could PayPal.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Sweep the rack. You just email us. I'll send you the Venmo. I'll send you the PayPal. It's $10 a ticket. Once you Venmo, I'll email you tickets with numbers on it, and then we'll do the drawing live on air. So don't forget, we're not raffling off until we sell all the tickets. So yeah, hit us up. Let us know what's good. Final thought. I have a practice session this weekend in B3. Have a tournament next weekend and New Year's Day I signed up for. Theo is running some CBE events the next few weeks. I'm going to be honest. I'm really not motivated to bowl right now at all. Like, I am just not motivated. I'm going to go to B3 this weekend and try to get myself motivated again. It's really easy to stay motivated when there was something to bowl every weekend. As soon as the bowling kind of like tapered off, like the events and the big tournaments, I just kind of like lost my motivation to bowl. Honestly, league weekly doesn't do it for me. And I need to keep bowling in order to keep myself motivated. So I'm still, yes. I already signed up. There's only 48 max. They 48 maxed the open division because I think the senior division is going on at the same time. There's still a chance that I decide not to bowl the regional. There's still a chance that I might not go bowl the TAT next year. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure things out. So that's my final thought. Maybe some new balls, maybe a new grip.
My advice would be don't worry about it too much. If you feel like bowling, go bowl. Enjoy yourself. Have fun.
Joe, we got a celebrity. You don't know Joey 2 times. Gonna get the papers. Get the papers. That's my guy, Joey, man. I appreciate it.
My final thought is shout to a couple pro bowlers that I saw post on social media, particularly AJ Johnson, and I think Barnes was another one, where they had shown up to local bowling centers It looked like to me like just to hang out, talk with the league players, go down, introduce themselves, talk it up, chat it up. I know that they were promoting the Bolero tournament that's going on as well. And again, that's part of what made me take note of the marketing the marketing barrage on the Bolero tournament. But listen, I have said before that I think and Rob, you talk a lot about the trying to create an interest in the players, right? Trying to create that that reason for the fans to follow, right? Well, what better than having guys show up to their local centers and kind of introduce themselves and give the bowlers some tips and throw a few shots here and there. And that's a great thing. That's an awesome thing. It's an awesome experience for the local bowlers. I'm sure there's a lot of local bowlers that don't even know guys like Barnes or AJ, like live around their area or frequent their local center, whatever it may be. So shout to those guys. I would love to see more of that. I really would. So that's my final thought.
Well, this is gonna wrap up, I think, tonight, Mike. Follow us.
A little bit of a short show tonight. We're only 6 minutes into overtime here.
Yo, do us a favor. Make an email, create an email address, subscribe. We got to 1,000 followers, and then for some reason YouTube knocked out some of our subscribers. Maybe it was all of my people I worked with subscribing, and they caught us.
No, it was probably the haters. It was probably the haters who were like, they got to 1,000. I'm going to unsubscribe. It was the zombie Belmos of the world for sure.
Yeah, the haters. But yeah, so if you got a chance, hit the subscribe button, like the video. We enjoy doing this and we want to keep doing it. So, yeah, Mike.
Hit us up through email, sweeptherack@gmail. If you need anything, you got questions, you want to just reach out to us, feel free, sweeptherack@gmail. We have rosin bags. If anybody needs stocking stuffers, hit us up. We got plenty of rosin bags, worst of the week rosin bags. Definitely hit us up for those. Again, through email, sweeptherack@gmail. If you want raffle tickets, hit us up, sweeptherack@gmail. We're selling 50. I would say there's definitely 39 or more left right now at the current moment when we came on the air.
Yeah, we just started selling them. So
yeah, we literally just sold a couple after the show last week. So hit us up, okay? Hit us up about the raffle. Belmo memorabilia going out to the people supporting a good cause with our guys over at Our Family Pro Shop with my guy Tim over there and his crew. So we have that going on. Email us on that. We'll be back next week, right, Rob? We'll probably take the holiday week off, I would think, but we'll be back next week.
Yeah, we're going to take the Christmas. Christmas falls on a Monday.
No, it's on a Sunday.
It's on Sunday. We'll probably take the Thursday before that because I got to travel and stuff too. So,
right, sure.
So the Thursday.
So we'll be here next week. We won't be here the week after. Is basically how it'll work out.
Right.
All right. So we got one more week before the holiday and the New Year. Everybody, we'll see you next week. We'll have a lineup of things to talk about with you as always. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the comments. And don't hesitate to reach out. Catch you all later.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big